everybody, welcome to another episode of the Five Barista Files. Today is Saturday, January 10th, 2015. I'm your host, Heather, also known as Boutros Babe on Ravelry and Plurk, and Five Barista Files on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the shop at shop.highlandhandmades.com and check us out. Sorry, I felt like there should have been something there at the end of that sentence, but I don't remember what. Welcome to the new year. It is obviously already a little bit past New Year's. I'm sorry that I have not recorded before now. You may be able to tell. I am getting over a cold. That hit me New Year's Eve, I think. I've been quite sick. And it's one of those head colds that I still have my tonsils. So every time I get sick, it goes right into my throat and I lose my voice and it's just bad. So I just decided not to make you all suffer through that. Which unfortunately meant a bit of a delayed podcast, but I have lots to talk about and lots to show you, both in die pots for shop update as well as grabby hand stuff and other wonderful things. So let's get started, shall we? Weeks in review. We had Christmas, we had New Year's. They were great. I got lots of awesome presents, most of which I will mention in grabby hands just so that your feed isn't filled with it now. We had a good Christmas. It was quiet. We had a big storm Christmas Eve, I think. No? Do you remember when it snowed? I can't remember. Maybe it would have been Christmas Day we got a storm come. But it didn't matter because we weren't going anywhere. It had been warm leading up to Christmas Day. We'd had 30, 35. I think one day it almost got up to 40-degree temperatures, but it had been very wet and rainy and cold and overcast. And I think we went like 3 weeks without seeing the sun. But after Christmas Day, it came off cold, and it's been very cold since. We've had several days that have not. Our high the day before yesterday was -1, and that didn't count wind chill. It has come off very, very cold. We've had a heck of a cold snap. I generally don't mind the cold snaps because A, I don't have to go outside if I don't want to, and B, it kills the bugs so that all of the eggs and everything that are here for next year for the summer, they're going to get so frozen that they don't hatch. We had a really long cold winter last winter and we missed black fly season. Like we just skipped it entirely, which was fantastic. It was May and I was outside and not getting killed by bugs, and I will take it. I will take it. But this most recent cold snap froze our water pipes in our bathroom, and that was not pleasant. Our bathroom used to be a porch, so it's not properly insulated. And the pipes of the washing machine freeze all the time. Not a big deal. We have a hairdryer that we keep back there. We just put the hairdryer on the pipes, and after a few minutes, it lets go. But this time, our bathroom sink froze, which is on the other side of the bathroom. Paul's lived here since he was a kid, and it's never done that before. It's been cold. So that was a bit of a trial to get thought out, but we did. The pipes did not burst. They're running now. Briggs wants to come say hi. So everything's going now, and it is 17 degrees out right now, so it has warmed up a little bit. Come on. If you're coming up, come up. Other than that, our New Year's Eve was pretty uneventful. I think Paul went to bed before midnight even happened. Or no, did I convince you to stay up? Maybe he was going to go to bed, and I convinced him to stay up. We've been watching a lot of movies. He got a Christmas gift or belated birthday gift of some money for movies. And since he knew he was going to be laid up and out of work, we went to Walmart and we got like 15 movies. And we've been slowly cycling through those. The ones that we don't know why we didn't have. Like the Harry Potter series and the Indiana Jones series. And why did we not have these movies? We don't know. So we got a lot of those figured out. And we're watching a lot of that and Supernatural on Netflix, of course, because you need a little Sam and Dean in your life. More Dean than Sam, let's be honest. So it's been good. It's been quiet. Paul's recovery is going. His pain is much improved. His wounds have healed. The incisions have closed and whatnot. He's having some flexibility, range of motion issues, and we're not sure why that's still the case. But he's got an appointment on the 15th, so we'll go then and see if we can't get him some physical therapy to get that going. We haven't killed each other yet. We really haven't come close to killing each other, have we? Mm-hmm. I was a little frustrated yesterday with the pipes, but that wasn't his fault. Just this is his house, so I just blamed him. It was convenient. But that's really, we've had good, it's just been relaxing, quiet time, and he lets me listen to music while I dye yarn, and he's on the couch right now reading his Kindle while I record, and it's been good. Um, okay, that's what we've done. We saw Katie and Jeremy on Monday. We went to Bangor and met up. If you've listened to her most recent podcast, she's already talked about it. But we were doing each other's Christmas. We'd gone down the Saturday after Thanksgiving, but we hadn't been down since. So Bangor's almost halfway between her house and my house. So we got together in Longhorn and we exchanged gifts and wish we could have stayed longer. We always love to hang out with each other. We have a good time. There's never a quiet moment usually. We're just talking the whole time. The lady came and tried to take my plate from me because she thought I was done, but I wasn't done. I just was slow. Everybody else had finished, and I still had half my food because I didn't, stop talking. I know you're shocked. But it was good. She got me some running magazines and some running mitts, which I'm wearing because it's nice to wear them in the house. It's nice and toasty. I don't think I've taken them off other than to shower and sleep. And a really cool, I think I have it here. I'm pretty sure I put it away. I got a light up. You probably can't see, maybe if it blinks, you can see. It's a light up snap bracelet. Oh no. So that when you're running like at dusk or in low light situations, cars will see you, because that's the thing with running outside where I live is it's the main road, which has got log trucks and it's just a heavily trafficked road with heavy traffic. Not often traffic, like they weigh a lot. So, you don't want to get hit. And that was awesome. They got my husband, he's been learning to sew, which I'll talk about more in a little bit. And so a book with a bunch of projects in it. And what else did you get from them? Oh, a bottle of Jack to go on the wall of Jack Daniels that we have, which if you've been watching the podcast for a while, you've seen before. It was just great. We got them meat because that's what we do. We got them some nice locally grown what was it? Did it have West in it? Western strip steaks. They were like this thick. It was thick. Anyway, so hopefully they can cook up some steak and be happy. It was mostly just nice to see them. We got to see Jeremy too, who his schedule is his shifts rotate between working days, working mids, and working nights. So we never know exactly whether or not he's going to be available. But it was just good. So, all right. There has been knitting. There's been spinning. There has been some dye pots, and there will be grabby hands. There's not going to be a book review this week simply because of the sheer amount of grabby hands that I have. But there will be a review next week or next episode. My cat is laying half in my lap and half on the desk. I don't know if you can see. Let me take this down. Do you see her? I'm just going to help you, Mom. She's a weirdo. Okay. So knitting. I have been a little bit project monogamous lately. I know you're shocked. I'm a little shocked. I'm mostly trying to clean off some needles so that I can start some new projects with a clear conscience. I knit and gifted a cattywampus hat. The cattywampus hat is designed by Elizabeth Green Musselman of Dark Matter Knits. You can search. I think I put it in my projects page, and I also it's on Ravelry, so it's called the cattywampus hat. Elizabeth gifted that pattern to me, and it was genius. It's a hat that's knit flat, and then you kitchen under the two ends, and it's just this swirling magnificence of a hat. And I did it in some black Cascade 220 superwash and purple Malabrigo worsted that I had, just scraps that I had laying around from previous projects. And that was the only Christmas knitting I did. And I gave it to the lady who makes my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, Nikayla, because she makes excellent coffees and she always draws us pictures on our cups. And she, of all of the people who do not yet have knitwear in my life from me, she was the most deserving. So whether that means most everybody has knitwear or I need better friends, I'm not sure. But she loved it. said that she loved it, said she's worn it a bunch, so that's good. It was a quick knit, and I will be making another one out of handspun for myself, for sure. It's just such a genius pattern. You need to buy it. Okay, and of course I can't show it to you. I will put a picture in the beginning. You probably already saw it, due to the nature of how I record and then edit the episodes. So you will see a picture of it, but I don't have it here to show you because I've already gifted it. I do not remember if I showed you the completion of the first Jaywalker. I don't remember if it was done. But the first one is done. I have not yet cast on the second one. I have second sock syndrome. Don't shoot me. This is knit out of Friday Studios. It's her Monday sock base, I think, in the Lumberjack colorway. And I'm doing just a modified Jaywalker to that. And then the other thing that I've been knitting has been a herringbone stitch cowl out of my loop bat that I spun in Navajo Glide. That was the loop bat was the bullseye bump, which is a gradient or progressive fiber that I Navajo applied to keep the color changes separate, and I'm now knitting up. So you can see it's basically striped. This is actually not black, it's a very dark chocolate brown, and then rust, and then this golden orange, and it's gone into light green, and it has a olivey color and the dark green to go after that. Now, this cowl is taking me forever, and this is what I'm currently monogamous with, and I'm getting maybe 2 rows done a day. The herringbone cowl, the herringbone stitch is a free, it's a Pearl Soho pattern that I'm using, although they do pattern, other people have done this pattern as well. It's a free pattern, I'm not giving anything away. You knit 2 together on every single stitch, and then when you knit 2 together, usually you pull them both off, but you don't pull them both off, you only pull one off. So you're knitting 2 stitches, but the second stitch that you knit, you have to put back on the left needle and knit it again. So it's very, very, very slow. I like the way it looks, and it is a very dense fabric. You can see here's what the inside looks like. And I like that. I like the dense fabric because it is going to be a cowl. It is going to go underneath my pea coat. I'm knitting it on a little bit smaller needle than they probably would recommend, but I don't have anything in between a 10.5 and a 19. Not on Cirques. So I went with the 10.5. And this is the light worsted yarn, so realistically I probably should have gone with the 13, but I didn't. And it's just going a little bit slowly. That's all I've been knitting. I did finish one other thing. And this is something that has been in the works for a while, and I am in the process of getting the pattern written up and having it test knit. These are the rainbow running mitts that are knit out of the Fruju colorway that I dyed up to help raise money for Silly Fru's medical bills. And they are all done. Now they are an open mitten, which means there's a opening here where your fingers can go out, like if you need to touch your smartphone or whatever while you're running, and then the top goes back over. It's not super airtight, and that's on purpose. When you're running and your hands are cupped, there's no breeze getting in there, but they're really easy for you to flip open, you know, if you need to retie your shoe or whatever. The thumb is an afterthought thumb, which means there's no gusset. You just switch to back and forth knitting right here, and then you pick up the stitches and knit the thumb after. It's not everybody's cup of tea. You don't have to buy the pattern if you think that's not going to be your cup of tea, but I'm pleased with how they came out. I had to reknit the fingertips like 3 times, but I finally got a fingertip ending that I liked. Now I've had this, one person has already test knit this. Thank you, Nitty Witty Shell. And I'm going to be asking for a couple more test knitters. I need to tweak a couple things in the pattern first. Basically, Nitty Witty Shell was an alpha tester, and now I need some beta testers. So that hopefully will be a pattern. My goal is to have it available by February 1st. So I will be putting out a call on Ravelry in the Highland Handmades Rav group to see if you would like to test knit this. My test knitters generally get a $5 off coupon in my shop as a thank you. I don't pay or provide yarn. People often just volunteer because they're sweet. So thank you very much for that. So that's been the knitting. Now spinning. I have done a little bit of spinning, and I brought my bobbins over before I started. I finished the singles of the Oxford fiber that I got in the Spinning Loft fiber sampler kit. This is a little bit over an ounce. I haven't plied it yet. I will be plying it. I was not super impressed with this fiber. You can see, do you see this little like round thing right here? It's basically a nap that this wool really curled over on itself a lot, and it didn't draft evenly, so it's pretty fuzzy. We'll see how much it evens out in the plying. I turn this into a center pull ball and then ply both ends so that I don't waste any. We'll see if I like it anymore after that, but I was not super impressed with it. And then I'm also spinning some of the Polworth mohair silk that I have in the shop right now. This is called Pow Right in the Kisser. A friend bought this and didn't realize that it was fiber and not yarn. She's new to knitting. So I offered, because she's a friend of mine, I offered to spin it up for her and send it to her as hand spun. So I'm doing that for her. That's not something I do very often, but I made a special exception in her case. I wonder if I can get that to focus so you guys can actually see. It's mostly 2 shades of blue, and then there's got a few pops of red in there. So that's half of it. That's 2 ounces. I have another 2 ounces to do, and then that will also be a 2-ply. So that's what I've been spinning. Now, oh no, I'll leave that in grabby hands. Stop getting ahead of yourself. Okay. Dye pots. I've been a little bit scatterbrained this fall, and unfortunately, when I'm scatterbrained, I forget things. Namely, I forget that I've already ordered yarn when I need to order yarn for like the next month's club or whatever, which leaves me with a little bit of extra. Now, in the club this past year, in 2014's club, I debuted a new sock base called White Maple Sock. It is 100% American superwash merino, and it's 415 yards per skein, 2 plies, very tightly twisted, very much like a Louette Gems base, although I didn't get it from Louette. It's wonderful. It's the base that I did the Fruju White Maple Sock out of. The Fruju is the only non-club use I've had for it, I think. But I dyed up a bunch, and so I want to show you what I've dyed up in that base because they're going in the shop right off. Those 3 I'm going to get to in a minute. So, I dyed a little bit of everything. I dyed some semi-solids, some kettle dyes, some highly variegateds, and none of them have ball bands yet, and some of them don't have names yet. I did this not yesterday, but the day before. So the first one is a semi-solid. It's a light gray. This is Frost. Basically, it is Frost. Let's see, what are the other semi-solids I did? I did a tonal, which you've seen before. This is Survivor. You can see there's some flecking in there of hot pink, but most of it's sort of a light and bright pinks. And then I did some semi-solids that I haven't done before. Now, I don't generally do semi-solids. I do tonals, which are 2... Sorry, is that getting too close to you? I'm getting attitude from the cat. 2 colors that are close to each other, like the Survivor has 2 shades of pink. So it's not quite semi-solid, it's tonal. These are true semi-solids. This is a mustard yellow, sort of a pale pumpkin orange, harvest gold color. And there are places where it blends a little bit more into orange and is a little bit lighter into gold. This one is a deep teal. Again, it's a true semi-solid. I think the mustard and the teal go great together. Wouldn't this be awesome as like a daybreak shawl or my wish shawl? And then I did a third one well, technically a fourth one if you count frost. This is a deep, deep wine burgundy red, purplish color. That's pretty accurate. It's pretty dark. Kind of a Bordeaux color. And then for the variegateds, I did one of the club colorways, the only club colorway that I think I'm probably going to do and put it in the shop. This is from February of 2014. It's called Fresh Flannel. It's red, a deep charcoal gray, and then a black. The charcoal gray and black are very, very close together in color, but there is a slight difference. And then, of course, they've got this red in there, too. Spice Cupboard, which is just browns and oranges and cinnamon sort of shades. It looks a little green, but that's really a brown, not a green. Brown does have sort of olivey undertones, but I promise you it's not green at all. So it's called Spice Cupboard. This one is one you've seen before. It's called Prospecting. This one does have some green in it. I'm running out of room on my desk. Sea Glass, which is a kettle dye. You've seen Sea Glass before 1,000 times. And then I have 3 new colorways. This one is going to be called Close to the Nest. Get it like close to the vest, but nest. It's sort of hummingbird shades of this bright green and cherry pink. And then it has some paler purples and a navy. And this end is sort of like frost. It's a semi-solid gray at the end. Then these 2 were stripies at once upon a time, but I did them as a variegated instead this time. This one's called You're Getting Warmer. It is yellow, orange, and red. That is a very bright red. And this one's called You're Getting Colder. So it's green and bright blue and bright purple. So again, I think these 2 would be great together. It's basically a rainbow if you put the 2 together. The only other thing I dyed, I had 1 spare set of white ash worsted skeins. So this is a pair, and it's called If the Slipper Fits. It's actually a green, but the green breaks into both a mossy green and a gray. It's kind of hard to tell that it's sort of a green-gray combo. I love the way the dye breaks that way. You can kind of see it there. So I have 2 skeins of this. I think they would make great slippers, which is why I named it what I did, If the Slipper Fits. So those are all going to be in the shop. If you have not used the white maple sock yet, you really should. It is very enjoyable to knit with. Because it's a 2-ply and there's a very high twist ratio, it is very durable, even though it doesn't have nylon in it. So don't think that because it's 100% superwash merino, you can't use it for socks, because you totally could. In between Christmas and New Year's, my friend Alicia came over. I met Alicia at Knit East a couple years ago. And we found out at Knit East, which is in Canada, that we only live 45 minutes apart. And Alicia is one of those really enthusiastic people that just wants to be part of the process. She's been to Highlands. She came to Highlands on the fly this past year, took my dyeing workshop. She is a designer on Ravelry. She does dye yarn and fiber. Her username on Instagram is World on a String Designs. I don't know what her Etsy shop is. I'll have to ask Alicia, and I'll put it in on the blog in the show notes. Alicia came over and hung out and had brought some of her dyes and had brought some of her yarn and fiber, and she wanted to have a dye day. Okay. She also brought her picker. If you have processed your own fleece before, you might know what a picker is. It is basically a long box with sets of gigantic nails in it. And it has a handle, and you drive cleaned fiber over these nails, and it opens up the locks in the fiber to make it big and fluffy. After it's been processed, fiber has a tendency to sort of mat a little bit, and this opens everything up and makes it much more easy to turn into roving or whatever. And she left her picker here, so I've been having quite a bit of fun with that. But we totally did have a dye day, and Alicia came up with these 3, and she dyed them, these 3 colorways that are coffee house inspired colorways. She had this all planned out. She just wanted, you know, to use my stuff, and we went to it. So these are going to be in my shop, but they were not dyed by me. They were dyed by Alicia, supervised by me. This first one is called $5 Latte. You can tell this is a Starbucks inspired skein of yarn. It's mostly green with a little pop of white, and on the opposite end of the skein is a little pop of black. So it's a lot of green, and then there's an undyed end and a black end. These skeins, I think I had pink on my fingers a little bit, so there's a little bit of pink in the undyed section, so these will be discounted a little bit, but it's not, I don't think it's enough to really bother you. So there's $5 Latte. This one is called Double Double A. It is a Tim Hortons inspired colorway. You can see that it is bright red, and then it's a long section of red, and on each end, one end is this tan color, and then the other end is black. So Tim Hortons. And then my personal favorite, America Runs. And this is a long section of brown with a pop of orange and a pop of that magenta pink that is the colors of Dunkin' Donuts. Alicia posted on the Highland Handmades Facebook page a picture of how this skein knits up. It's mostly brown, and it has these little like 8 to 10 stitch pops of the color in between, and it's gorgeous the way that it dyes up. I don't generally do a large section with small pops. I tend to make my colors more even. So new blood, new methods, new effects, and it's awesome. These will also be in the shop update. So if you love your coffee, whether it be Starbucks or Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts, you can get a skein from your favorite yarn. I know that Wendy from the Knit One Heart 2 girls loves to go to Dunkin' Donuts on Thursdays, and that made me like, just saying, Wendy, there's some Dunkin' Donuts yarn, and I know you're knitting socks now, so just saying. In addition to the sock yarn and the little bit of worsted yarn, I also have some poonies. I did these last night. There are two sets here. This one is all merino. It does not yet have a name. You can see, I think, let me pull one out. There are a bunch of colors in this one. It is green, sort of a pumpkin orange. There's actually, I think, two shades of green. There's a dark moss green and more of a leaf green. There's this old gold sort of brass color. There's a little bit of black, and then this pumpkin orange. Each of these bags is about 2 ounces, or 50 so grams, a little bit shy of 2 ounces. So there's that one. Again, it doesn't have a name yet. And then this set reminds me of My Little Pony. I don't know why, but it does. You can see them all here. This has a blend of merino, yak, silk, superwash merino, and tencel. And it is done in hot pink. There's some soft lilac colors, dark purple, mauvey pinks. There's the silver undyed of the yak and the silk. You can see how that all lines up. And this again is also 2 ounces. It'll be a little bit more because of the yak and the silk content, but just set there. So those will all be going in the shop. What's today? Saturday. Let's set the shop update for Sunday, January 11th at noon Eastern Daylight Time. Okay? Sunday, tomorrow, noon Eastern Daylight Time. That will give you guys a chance to see the episode and or hear about it on social media, whatnot, that there's going to be a shop update. So come shop Highland Handmades. And there is a bunch of stuff in the shop as well already if you are currently jonesing for something. I feel like I'm lower in the frame than I was before. I'm not really sure why that is. Tip that down a little bit. There, that's better. Okay. Growth. I am looking into doing some more shows this year, even if it's just getting on the wait list for a few shows. I want to add to my New England show base. I would like to eventually do New Hampshire and Vermont sheep and wool, possibly Maryland sheep and wool someday. Knit East is going to be again this year. And then Fiber Fair of New England, which is in Springfield, Mass. I would like to do that one too. Most of these are waitlist only right now, but I'm going to get my name on the list and hopefully someday soon. So that's that. Now, processes. I've started prep work for SPA, which is the New England Textile Association's show at the end of February. It's the third weekend of February in Freeport, Maine. Love that I got into the show. This will be my first year attending. I'm in the process of figuring out what I need to order as far as fiber and yarn. Bless you. And getting that figured out. So that's where I'm going there. That just leaves grabby hands. Yay. I love grabby hands. Okay. So I mentioned that my husband has been learning to sew. He's been doing great. His learning curve has been much shorter than mine was when I first learned to sew. I like to think that's because of the expert help he's getting, but I also know that's not true. He purchased a fat quarter of some fabric for me for Christmas that I absolutely adore. You may have seen this on my Instagram already. He bought me some Serenity-inspired fabric. If you have seen bags Stitched by Jessalou bags, you've seen that I believe the woman who does Jessalou's fabrics or exclusive fabrics also does some other ones, because this did come from Swoonflower. And I think it's the same lady. And if not, it's done in the same style. So we've got Jane, Preacher, Inara, Zoe, Simon, Summer, Man with the Blue Hands, Gloves of Blue, 2x2, Hands of Blue, 2x2, sorry. Captain Mao, Malcolm Reynolds, and Kaylee with her umbrella, their parasol. So they're all on there. And he made me this project bag. It's lined with muslin, just simple muslin that I had, and it has a drawstring on one side. Stop it. That's not for you. With one of those catches that on Katie's most recent episode she couldn't remember the name of. I don't remember the name of it either. And it is just a gusseted bottom bag. You can see it looks like Jane has a beard in this one. It's pretty funny. I love this bag. I don't have anything in it yet because I was saving it to show you guys. But the next time I cast something new on, it's going in that bag. I had a little bit of fabric left over, so I just did a real quick notions pouch. Sorry. Again, lined in the muslin. And I just installed the zipper that I happen to have kicking around. Just because I wanted to use all of the fabric. Because I love it. Because I'm a huge brown coat. Yes, I am. That wasn't the only fiber-related gift I got for Christmas. The man also bought me some Into the World. Katie, no. No. This is the Bazinga colorway. It is superwash merino cashmere silk, so it's an MCN base. It is between 4 and 4.3 ounces, and it is, of course, from Into the World. Katie loves Big Bang Theory, and she got a Big Bang Theory project bag for me, but I didn't tell her about this because I didn't want her to know about it. Sorry, Katie. But it is incredibly soft, of course, and beautiful, because everything Into the World does is beautiful, and I love them. I cannot wait to spin this up. And then the other thing I got is from a dyer who is new to me, and Paul specifically looked for somebody who is new to me. This is from Sheepy Fibers, etc., and it's Fibers, Fibres. This is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon skein, 460 yards, in the Zombie Girl colorway. And I love this. It's pink and gray and black and that lovely lime green that I adore so much. I love it. You know me, Mom, all things zombie. Speaking of all things zombie, I am almost done with season 2 of Zombies Run. I've got like 5 missions left, and I'm all anxious about what's going to happen, because at the end of season 1, I don't know if I'm spoiler alert, at the end of season 1, Able Township basically gets blown to bits. So it was very stressful. You guys are laughing at me and how much I love Zombies Run, but the voice acting is incredible. It's like it's real in your ears all the time. It's just so believable. When you're running and you hear Sam say, you know, zombies are on your, there's some sprinters and the zombies, just keep running. Like, you just keep running because the zombies are going to get you. Whatever works, right? I've been running since the New Year, really since the second week of the New Year, because the first week of the New Year I was so sick. I also did get from Christmas, this is totally sidetracked, some wireless earphones from Jarve. They connect to your phone via Bluetooth, so you don't have the cord running from your ears to your phone. They work awesome. They stay in my ears just fine, and I've been using them just on the treadmill because, of course, I haven't been outside. It's been too cold. They work fabulously. I hear Sam right in my ear. Raise the gates. Okay. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is this bag. Now, this bit is going to be not safe for work. It's also not safe for children, because I'm going to show you what Katie wouldn't show you in her podcast episode, because I have no shame. Erin of Bling Your String makes these bags, and they're beautiful bags. They're nice and deep. They've got a gusseted bottom. They have a nice handle, strap for you to put your wrist through so you can knit while you hold on to it. And all of her bags come with stitch markers. I didn't bring it with me. I should have. I didn't get the Highlands on the Fly 2014 special edition bag. She sold out. So she said, I'll send you one, and I've got some additional fabric that I ordered special for you, and I'm going to send it to you. So she sent it to me. Now, the bag itself is not safe for work. It's fine. Oh, thank God the cat's gone. It just says, I'm horrible people. And if you are familiar with Cards Against Humanity, you know it's a card game for horrible people. We make Erin play at Highlands on the Fly every year, and her friends, poor Isabel and Tiffany, we make her play. And it's a great time. A great time is had by all. But this bag, although it would be awesome enough just like this, Erin also made me a special stitch marker. And this is the part that's not safe for work or kids. So everybody go away. She made me this. I have to get it up so you guys can see it. I even laughed for like 5 minutes when I saw this. I don't know if you can tell what that is right there, but that, not safe for work, is a bigger, blacker dick. She made it out of polymer clay. One for me, one for Katie. And I could not stop laughing. Like, head thrown back, evil cackle, couldn't stop. In fact, I was so in love with it that I immediately sent a picture to Katie. Now, I didn't know Katie was also getting a bag. Erin said she'd designed custom fabric for me and was going to send me a bag. I didn't realize she said the same thing to Katie. So I sent this picture and I was like, oh my God, look at this bag. It's the best bag ever. And Katie's like, what if you just ruined my surprise? And I was like, oh crap, I'm the worst friend ever. Are you getting a bag too? I ruined the surprise. Sorry, Erin. Sorry, Katie. I didn't mean to. I was just so excited. Oh, this bag. And my cowl is in this bag already because I took the cowl out of the bag I was using and put it in this one just so that I could giggle every time I pulled it out because it's amazing. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it so much. And you can see, if you Google Bling Your String, you'll see her bags and stitch markers. She has, the set is with fixed circles, and then the special stitch marker at the end usually has a clasp, so it's removable. So even if you are a crocheter and you know have the ones that this has a clasp on it, so you can remove it and put it other places. I often use these clasp stitch markers to mark the front side of a fabric, like when I'm doing something in garter stitch or shawl or whatever, just so I know what the right side of the fabric is. Love it. I love it, Erin. Thank you so much. All right. 40 minutes. That's good. That's not as terrible as it could have been for how long this episode might have been. The 2015 Highland Handmades Color Study Yarn Club and Fiber Club. All of the, excuse me, Signups have quasi-closed, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. Everybody who filled out the Google Doc should have had an email from me. A couple of people had not paid or signed up for their subscriptions via PayPal yet, and they emailed those people today. I am ordering yarn and fiber today, so basically that's all set. Now, I do have a few spaces left, so if you go to highlandhandmades.com and you sign up within the next couple days, you can still get in for January. After that, pretty much you're going to start with February. But I just wanted to throw that out there. You can get all the information on the club, what's included, how much it is, all that good stuff at highlandhandmades.com. And follow the links on the page if you want to sign up. So I'm ordering yarn and fiber today. I'm going to order a little extra just in case, and that's pretty much it. My stuffiness is getting worse, you guys, so I think I'm going to say goodbye for today. I hope to record again soonish. Shop update will be tomorrow at noon. If you need to get a hold of me, you can email me at heather@highlandhandmades.com or find me on one of my social media sites. I'm usually around. Let me know if you need anything. And until then, happy spinning and knitting. Happy spinning and knitting. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Generations of lovers, birth and of death, and of all of these stories, I love hers the best. And you, I see my own history. I will rock you gently forever in me. And you, I see my own destiny. I will rock you gently